All right, so starting with our sauce ingredients, you will need 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. You can use fresh, you can use garlic powder, and then I have about 2 cups here of cashew cream, which is just cashews blended with about half as much water or vegetable broth. I use vegetable broth for some extra flavor. It's super good. Next, we have some pasta. I love using this protein pasta for my meals. And then about 1 1/2 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning, or Creole seasoning. You can use any kind that you like, and it's delicious. This is what makes flavor. Then I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You can take this out if you're not into spicy food, or add more. And then we have the holy trinity of Cajun or Creole cuisine, which is onion, pepper, and celery. And then I'm using about 3/4 of a block of tofu, and I like to use the extra firm, high protein kind because you don't need to press it. Otherwise, just press it or freeze it and defrost it. And next, I am just chopping up all of my vegetables, starting with the onions, dicing them up really nice and small. Chopping doesn't have to be perfect, and you can have it chunkier if you like, or even smaller. You could even just blend everything up in a food processor, and that would be much faster. But just chop them up. This is the foundation of flavor, and I think it is very important when you are making a dish like this. So that's what it looks like, all chopped up, and then we're just gonna add it to our pan according to package instructions, and once it's done, I'll just set it aside while I make everything else. I'm just putting some vegetable broth in a saucepan over medium-high heat, and I'm putting my holy trinity in there and just letting it cook until fragrant. Once that's fragrant, I'm adding my garlic and letting that cook until fragrant. Mixing everything around really well. Next, I just lower the heat and then add all of my cashew cream and mix everything around. Now it's cooking at about medium-low. And just mix that. Next, add all that Cajun seasoning, and again, mix really well. This will turn the sauce into a really nice pinkish, reddish color, and that's how you know it's going to be delicious. And then you can just let that simmer on a low heat setting so that it doesn't reduce too much, and have that going while you prepare your tofu. So here I'm setting the air fryer at 400 degrees, and then we're going to let it cook for about 13 to 15 minutes. So right now it's just preheating. Next, I'm taking my tofu and slicing it up into little steaks, fairly thin, about 1/2 inch. Now, breading the tofu is pretty easy, and just in one bowl I have the bread crumbs, which I just mixed with various seasonings like paprika and garlic powder, and then same thing with the flour, and I have about 1/2 cup of each, and then also about 1/2 cup of milk in a third bowl. For the breading, first step is to coat the tofu in the flour, then coat it in the milk, and then finally coat it in the breadcrumbs. And then just continue coating until you are all done. Now, once your tofu is all breaded, you are just gonna place it in the air fryer, which is going for 13 minutes. So just go ahead and put that in there, and then I'm just gonna leave it there, and about halfway through, flip them over. Make sure it's really well sprayed because it does have a tendency to stick if not. And then that's it. So while I have everything in the air fryer, I am going back to my sauce and just pouring in that cooked pasta, mixing everything together so that it's coated and really creamy. This is what it looks like when it's all done. You can see the creaminess and the flavor and the color, and it is so delicious, trust me. And then once 13 minutes have passed, I am pulling my tofu out of the air fryer and plating everything up. Just adding a nice, generous serving of pasta and then putting my delicious, crispy fried tofu on top. Of course, if you just make the sauce on its own with the pasta, that is delicious enough. The tofu just adds a nice flavor to it and just makes it a full dish, like the Louisiana chicken pasta from the Cheesecake Factory that this recipe was inspired by. It's so good. Try it. Nobody will believe it's vegan. It's amazing. Hope you enjoy.